Hello, and welcome back to the Whitey Jenkins Show. I'm your host, of course, Whitey Jenkins. And today we're going to be joined once again by my co-host, my cousin, the one and only, your favorite, Delbert Shooter Jenkins. How you doing, Delbert?
I'm doing good, Whitey. Just been kicking it, looking for a job, trying to
Hey,
see
I was
what's
about
out
to ask you
there.
how things were going at the Forever 21, man. You
Well,
was telling us last time you got a job there.
yeah, I got that job at Forever 21, and it was working out good, but there was one little girl worked the cash register in high school. She only comes in the afternoon. That bitch Cassidy's what I call her. All right, so she says all of a sudden she's seen me sneaking a shirt out. What I'm gonna do with a Forever 21 shirt? I told them jobs are a dime a dozen. I'm gonna get another one. I got an interview this week down at the Hardee's.
Well, that's good. I mean, I They don't. Do they? I mean, as Hardy's open all day because you only see people there at breakfast. At any of them you go by, there's a bunch of people there at breakfast time, and after that, so I mean, would you only be working till like 10 or 11 o'clock?
I,
And you have
I
the rest of
think
the
you
day off?
get off exactly. I think you get off at 10 o'clock. They said I'm going to be a biscuit maker, but I like to think of it as a biscuit builder.
There you go, man. And that's important. You can't sell all that breakfast they sell without good biscuits. And I mean, everybody knows. Anybody who knows Delbert Jenkins knows. You make the best damn biscuits. I mean, there ain't a damn Meemaw out there who make biscuits like Delbert. That's for sure.
I really do. I'm thinking maybe about 2 weeks, and they asked me to be in the maybe the CEO or maybe in charge of ideas. I got a lot of ideas, Whitey.
Well, they need some, man, because like I said, I mean, other than breakfast time, they ain't nothing going on at the Hardee's. So if you come up with something idea, besides, I mean, their only idea is just putting something different on a damn $8 hamburger. Like, well, let's put onion rings, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg on there and see if these idiots will eat it. Well, let's do one with chicken nuggets on top. Like, come up with something original, man. I mean, I'm sure you got some ideas that could help them out.
I think what really started to kill them is when they tried to dive into the burritos and stuff.
Oh yeah,
When
when
you
they
have
decided to
you
be Hardee's slash a Mexican restaurant, like, what are you
have
doing?
you ever been like, I want a burrito, and then like take me to the Hardee's? It don't
Exactly,
make no sense.
exactly. I mean, you've worked on a bunch of job sites before. Is any of them Mexican dudes that's out there, working with them plaster and all that all day are like, hey man, let's go get a taco from the Hardee's? No, man, they ain't going there. They're going to La
No,
Cahaba Fiesta or some shit.
exactly. I did eat at a Hong Song, one of them Vietnamese buffets, and
Oh
I
yeah.
got a look in the back. It was a little Vietnamese guy running it or whatever, and two little girls running around. But if you open the door in the back, it's all Mexican guys.
Yep. A lot of people don't know
So
that. That's inside information from Delbert right there.
technically, that's a Mexican buffet you're at. Sweet and sour chicken, my ass.
Yeah. Vietnamese. I bet you still got the shits from that buffet.
I'm going back in a little while.
Well, I mean, you gotta clean out the system. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes you gotta help it along and push it on out. And Lord knows that V&B's buffet will damn sure do that.
That's one thing about the Chinese Mexican buffet. You eat it till you're full. 30 minutes later, you're hungry again.
That's right, always.
What
So,
have you been doing? What's going on in your week?
man, I was going to go back over there to Boone with that EPW, but they didn't book me. I was like Dennis Stamp. I wasn't booked, so I wasn't going to go this time because they didn't book me in nothing. So,
Do you think because we have allegedly uncovered the mystery of his hair, do you think it's holding you up in places? Do you think we ought not have did it?
well, I mean, I think the people deserve to know, so I don't regret doing it, but there is without a doubt, us uncovering the Dustin Starr Memphis Wig Conspiracy is costing me bookings. It's costing you bookings. Truth be told, if we really want to get deep into conspiracy theories here at Delbert, I bet if you look on her pay card, Cassidy's last name was probably Star. He's the one put that girl up, lost you your job at the damn Forever 21. I bet
That that could have been her uncle's neighbor's cousin or something like that. I never even thought of that. You know, she makes her own hours down there. Just come in when you want to, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. I mean, the guy's got a lot of pull. I mean, when you run Memphis Wrestling, I mean, you're just two notches under Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? And plus, he's got the hairdo to match, but it ain't real hair. It's a wig, and I know. I mean, I get what you're saying. Maybe we shouldn't have. Maybe we shouldn't have stirred up that hornet's nest. But if there's one thing that Whitey Jenkins does not respect, it's somebody that wears a wig. Okay, if there's two things that Whitey Jenkins does not respect, it's somebody who wears a wig and then lies about it.
Yeah, just say you're wearing a wig. So right now, where we stand, we said something about his wig. All right. Now, EPW didn't book you, and I lost my goddamn job at the Forever 21. Conspiracy?
We exposed the
I don't
truth.
think so. I don't think it's a conspiracy.
If there was ever any doubt, I mean, that proves it, because if it wasn't a wig, he would have just went on the internets on this week's episode of the Memphis Wrestling. He'd just come on there, went like, "Hey, just like my real hair right here." He just, "Hey, this ain't no wig. Them Jenkins is lying." But he knew he couldn't do that, because he knew if he pulled on that wig, it's gonna come off. Everybody'd see his bald head right there on the Memphis TV. So what did he do? He took the underhanded route. He called up that Neil Taylor over there at the EPWs. He said, "Don't you book Whitey Jenkins. Don't you let him or his cousin in that building talking to your people no more, because your people / my people, such as Diana Dirty Taylor, such as the Mr. Livingston and the Hot Shots."
The Hot Shots. Hey, they're probably the best tag team going around today, bro.
And you know what? I hope we didn't mess them up. I mean, if you start watching Memphis TV and all of a sudden now the Hot Shots are losing every week, I'm going to feel bad about that. I will feel bad if we messed the Hot Shots push up because we asked them that question. And they didn't. They were smart. Livingston's got them clued in. They didn't answer. They did not come out and say that Dustin Starr wears a wig. Dirty Diana Taylor, she flat out said, "Oh yeah, it's a wig. I know it's a wig." But, you know, they didn't say it, and that was smart on them. Maybe they're smarter than we are. I doubt it. I mean, we're pretty smart fellers, Delbert. I mean, you know,
what we ought to do is we ease up there to Boonville, uninvited. We just show up. We sabotage the whole thing, and we ask each and every individual there, and we find out. We're going to sniff around, look for clues.
And even if we got to threaten people,
I'll threaten somebody.
If you know what I mean, we'll get the answers. He's done it now. I mean, we were just quietly asking questions during just random interviews, but now it's personal. Now you done messed us up. Now you costing us money. All right. So now we coming after you big time. We're going to get down there. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And we might even find you somewhere, Dustin Starr. We find you at a show. Delbert's going to sneak up behind you and snatch your wig off. And just like he said on the last episode, he's going to put that rascal on eBay. He's going to make us some money. Because who wouldn't want to have in their possession? You think how some wrestling fan would get him one of them little styrofoam heads like Al Snow used to have, and they put Dustin Starr's wig right on top of it and be like, "Hey, I got that off Delbert Jenkins on eBay for about $14. And, you know, it'd be a nice keepsake for him." Creepy, but...
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That sounds like a plan. We're going to get to the bottom of it. See, they're trying to shut us out. You can't shut the Jenkins out.
Oh, they're coming for us. I expect any time now for my damn YouTube channel to get shut down again, you know, and then they try to take us off the air, but we're not going to let it happen. We're in with them cheap heat boys now, Gene Jackson and the Xanders and Scott E. Morgan and that Shane Mako whenever he shows up, and then of course producer Smokey's got a lot of pull, needless to say. So I think we're going to be all right there. But anyway, before we get any more fired up, we're just going to move on past that subject. We got some pretty big announcements here shortly about the big OWF Family Jewel event. But speaking of wrestling, have you watched any wrestling lately, Delbert? Have you seen that Bray Wyatt character? He's back on the TV and he's out there rambling on. And then there's some dude in a mask that comes up on the screen and they call him Uncle Howdy. And when he first said it, I was like, wait a minute. Delbert's got an Uncle Howdy. That don't even look like him. Am I crazy? Don't you have an Uncle Howdy?
I do have an Uncle Howdy. You know, and I know. I can't even believe you brought it up. We're not really supposed to speak about Uncle Howdy. He's got a restraining order. He can't be within 1,000 yards of me. Uncle Howdy was a little too friendly with me, and my mom and them didn't take kindly.
Oh, that's Uncle Howdy. My bad, Delbert. Yeah, I forgot that's the Uncle Howdy. That's how he got the names. It's like, howdy, you know.
You remember our uncle? All the family reunions, they'd be like, don't be over there alone with Uncle Howdy. And, well, I ended up over there alone with Uncle Howdy. And then my mom blamed me. She was like, I told you not to be alone with him.
And after that's when you had to start go seeing that psychiatrist or the child psychologist. And then they was always asking you questions and talking to you, and you had to, and there for a while you had to sit on that inflatable donut. I don't know what that was about. It was
a little rough. I had a little hitch in my giddy up there for a minute. They would always be like, "Where did he touch you? Where did he touch you?"
Oh, that's right. They had that doll. You know, you had that stuffed Ultimate Warrior doll you used to wrestle with, and as a kid, and they took that Ultimate Warrior doll, and they're like, "Where on the Warrior did Uncle Howdy touch you?"
And I had to show them all the places that he touched me.
That thing looked like a pincushion by the time you just show them all the different places.
It was rough. I couldn't sleep with my wrestling buddy after that.
I bet you whooped his ass pretty good, though.
I used to throw things on him. Like my mom would get mad because I'd lay him in a spot and then I'd tip the dresser over on him.
Well, I remember you got in trouble because me and you had watched that old videotape we had traded. We used to do that tape trading online with the wrestling tapes, and we watched that video of the Sheik, and you took part of the local newspaper that they used to throw in the driveway all the time. You took and you lit it on fire and you threw it in his face, and of course it melted off Ultimate Warrior's face because apparently that ain't newspapers that the Sheik and Jerry Lawler
fireballs take them out though.
Hey, he didn't touch nobody else after that, by God. But I never did find out how they did. I mean, when they threw the newspapers in people's face, why it didn't do as much damage as yours did. But I guess that's one of those mysteries of wrestling.
I seen that with Bray Wyatt, and here's what I'm saying. I think the WWE has a damn security problem because Uncle Howdy drives that raggedy van everywhere. All you do is look out in the parking lot. You're like, he's here. Go get him, and then you go get him out of the place. Instead, he's done found a camera and a microphone and found a way to broadcast himself. They don't have no security back there.
That's what's crazy. Yeah, I mean, he can just take over their So, I mean, if we weren't on such bad terms with your Uncle Howdy, that means we could just interject the Whitey Jenkins Show in the middle of the SmackDowns on Friday night, and then tell everybody on SmackDown on Fox that Dustin Starr wears a wig.
We could actually do that, and we could solve their Uncle Howdy problem. Because all you have to do is take me around the damn parking lot, 2 loops. I'm like, that's this van over there. Some bitch is here.
So if Uncle Howdy knows how to do that, I kind of hate to ask this, but would you be willing to take one for the team, if you will, and go see Uncle Howdy one last time, just so he could put us on the screen so we could expose the Dustin Starr wig conspiracy? And then, of course, after that, we'd get him thrown in jail, or, we can have one of our buddies take him out.
I could make a few phone calls and reach out to Uncle Howdy and see if maybe we couldn't expose Dustin Starr's wig on national television.
Because I mean, having a sore backside for a few days might be worth getting that
it's
kind of
the worst.
exposure on.
It's the worst, and you don't even know when you're farting. It's like
I can only imagine. I hadn't experienced it, but I'll definitely take your word.
It's like a toothless whisper.
It's like a
just
stiff
just
breeze
like
blowing
that.
by the
That's
door.
what it sounded like.
Like, I remember when Aunt Sally would go, Delbert, did you fart or did Ric Flair walk in the room? Because you just hear slightly, but it wasn't Ric Flair. It was you breaking wind.
It was me, but I'd tell her it wasn't me. Like,
Yeah,
that wasn't me.
And nobody wants to admit that, no matter how it sounds. But speaking of wrestling, real quick, so I thought it was a rib when somebody told me that over there in Saudi Arabia, in front of all them Arabs over there, that they were going to have Roman Reigns defend them undisputed belts against some YouTuber. Like, they got some kid that's got a YouTube channel, I guess. He got a bunch of followers.
Who was it?
Was it Paul Roma? Or no? I can't think of the kid's name.
Z-Man?
Maybe it was. I thought it was Paul. Was it Paul? No, Paul Orndorff's dead. Was it Logan? Logan Stunt? Logan.
Marco Stunt.
Or no, it wasn't Marco Stunt. This guy's actually, he's over 5 foot tall. But anyway, this YouTube kid got over there and wrestled Roman Reigns, and apparently blew his knee out, his ACL, his BCL, his CTL, the BLT, just shredded all of it. And I mean, that's why you don't put YouTubers in the ring. Am I right? I mean, you ain't gonna see no YouTubers on the OWF show. I promise you that.
No, and if we ever took the OWF show to a place like Saudi Arabia, we'd have had them fight to the death. He wouldn't have just tore up his knee. It'd have been a death match.
Damn right. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, I'm proud to see that American flag up there in the corner of your screen. That's very patriotic. I think everybody should take a moment to salute that flag and remember why we're here, because of that flag right there. That's why we ain't out having to have a death match in the middle of Saudi Arabia. Because we in America, my God.
But if you're a promoter for a death match in Saudi Arabia, I want 2 of you go out there. I only want 1 of you come back. It cheapens out your pay rate. Say you got 12 wrestlers. You're only paying 6 of them.
Exactly. People call me crazy. You remember I put on that deathmatch tournament last year. I called it Death Before
I remember that, and they all stayed alive. I couldn't believe it. I was so goddamn mad.
The plan was, it was a tournament, and every match, it was whoever, it was the last one standing. Yeah, I promised that was in the advertising, was somebody was going to die in every match. And the plan was, and I'll admit, you're the one that gave me this plan, was that you let it go through all the way to the tournament, and you got 1 guy left to pay. All the others are dead. And then, so, I call people up, looking like, hey, man, we're doing this deathmatch tournament down here. It's going to be every match, somebody's going to die. And then eventually we made it the Tracy Smothers Straight Up Everybody Dies Memorial Deathmatch Tournament. Well, they all agreed to it on the front end, but like wrestlers do, you get to the show and all these sissies are like, well, I ain't really gonna die. I mean, damn. I ain't really gonna die. So they all wussed out. Sorry. So then you got Whitey standing there looking like an asshole because I can't deliver what I promised.
It don't make any sense, because why would you agree to come to a death match and you're not ready to die? Some of them boys didn't even tie any of their loose ends together. I told you what we do. To put the asses in the seats, we set up our card. We get all our ducks in a row, and then we put on the poster a little puppy. And then we tell the people, you come to the show or we kill this damn puppy.
There you go.
And if you don't come see our wrestling show, we're gonna kill a puppy.
We're gonna throw him in the damn wood chipper and put it on YouTube. That's a good idea. I'm writing it down.
I know a guy.
Puppy
You know,
wood
it's
chipper.
not a problem.
Death.
I know a guy
All right.
that'll kill a puppy like that. I can get him over here by tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I know a guy that's killed 2 since we started the show 20 minutes ago. So, I mean, that ain't no problem. We'll make that happen. So, OWF Family Jewul, our big show coming up down there in Blumpkin Junction, Alabama, in the empty lot next to the Subway service station.
I can't wait.
We have added some big... I know you got an update you're going to give us here in just a minute. I'm going to pitch to you. But first, let me tell you some of the names that we have added just this week. T-Bone Jefferson is going to be there. I mean, he is one of the most popular African-American athletes going in the wrestling business today. He's going to be there. 2 guys that were featured in last week's OWF Match of the Week, Banger McGavin and Scotty Flipsmore, are going to be there. I mean, you seen that helmet of hair on top of Banger McGavin's head. It's something to behold. And it also prevents him from taking damage. You pile drive somebody with a helmet of hair like that, it don't phase him. He just pops right back up like Road Warrior Hawk.
Just a pad.
Also going to see the team. They're called the Sin City Sensations, but see, it's a pun because it's S-I-N, Sensations.
Ooh, okay.
Sensational Stevie Idol,
Ooh.
Stiff Peter Brooks, and High Times Bro Broderick are all 3 going to be at Family Jewul down there in Blumpkin Junction.
And Bro Broderick just got out of rehab. He's going to be raring to go.
He got out of rehab, and he also, as I pointed out on Facebook recently, he was also on that first episode of Young Rock on NBC when they showed the match with Mankind and Rocky Maivia. He was in the 5th row, 4th seat from the left. You could see Bro Broderick back there in the crowd.
He had a T-shirt on. You can't miss it.
So he will be signing 8x10s, High Times Bro Broderick, as seen on NBC's Young Rock. At that show, they'll be $47 a piece. But if you get there before 5:30, they'll be $45 a piece. So save you some money, get there early, because those are going to be collector's items. You can get on the eBay and sell those. If you get there and buy you one for $45, you could sell that thing for at least $50 on eBay.
At least
you've made a profit.
That's a bargain.
So what do you think? What do you think about that?
It sounds pretty exciting. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? And I have it on good authority that they have locked down. You know, everybody's saying, y'all don't do no promoting for these OWF shows. You guys aren't out there hitting the streets. Well, we've got sponsors. But they said we didn't have no sponsors. We told you we're the bestest in the South.
That's right.
We picked up sponsors. We're not worried about what the other people are saying. The OWF is the bestest in the South, and at the Family Jewul, we have already locked down a couple of sponsors. Matter of fact, that Friday before the show, Cuck Chad is going to be signing autographs at the downtown adult bookstore on 2nd Avenue. How about that?
Whoa. Man, I mean, Cuck Chad has been like the breakout star of OWF recently. I mean, the social media hashtag Cuck Chad has been on fire. People have been tweeting about him. They've been on the Instagrams. Wow. I mean, I bet there's going to be a line down the street.
It's probably going to be around the building twice. They're going to wrap around. And I think the hours that he's there, I think, are from 2 to 4 or 5. You know, a couple hours he's going to be there. Half price peep show booths. Half price.
Look at that. And I mean, they are the number one. I mean, we're bestest in the South at wrestling, but that store is right now, I think they are the top rated adult store for new and gently used adult personal items of any store in the country right now. And if you bring your new or gently used adult personal item, Cuck Chad will sign that for you.
Could you imagine having your very own adult prosthetic signed by the very own Cuck Chad.
I mean, your old lady would go wild, folks. If you're watching this right now, if you're a woman and you want one, come get you one. But if you want a Christmas gift that your old lady will never forget, you bring her home a signed Cuck Chad wiener. Oh, you'll be the hero of the household, I promise you. And she'll be the envy of the trailer park, no matter what trailer park you're living in. That's a fact.
Every girl's dream, Cuck Chad. Signing autographs. This thing's really exploded for him.
And then starting at 5, once his ends, Stevie Idol is going to be signing autographs, and Cuck Chad is going to watch, so you can sit over there next.
Well, he'll probably hang out for a little while and check it out. It sounds like it's something he would do.
We had some technical difficulties there. I'm sorry. I think we froze up for a minute or something. Anyway, speaking of Stevie Idol, besides the fact he's going to be at the Famulee Jewul and there at that store, he is going to be, so far on the new Whitey Jenkins Show, we've only had myself and Delbert on here, and really what more do you need? But because we're all about you, the fans, you, the viewers, you, the listeners, however you take this in, we are going to have a special guest on the next episode of the Whitey Jenkins Show, sensational Stevie Idol, independent wrestling legend. He's been around for years and years. He's been in the WWE. He was an extra. He got chokeslammed by Kane on an episode of Raw in 1998.
Hurt his knee, didn't he?
Yeah, hurt his knee. He was out of the business for a little while, and then he ended up in rehab. Both types. He did some physical rehab as well as some, other types of rehab, but that's neither here nor there. But I mean, he knows. He started out back in the day, like he was on the dark match of the first ever Ring of Honor show. He trained with Chris Hero, and he was good, close personal friends with CM Punk. He did some training up there with Ace Steel and CM Punk and that Colt Cabana and all that. He knows all them indie guys. He came up with all of them. So he's going to have some great stories about some of your favorite indie wrestlers. And he's traveled the world. He's been everywhere twice is what he says. So I'm sure we'll have a good time talking to him next week. Now, before we go, Delbert, do you want to have a little fun?
Let's do it.
We're going to play a game. Have you heard of this game? Porn star or wrestler?
Oh, I have. I've heard about it. I'm excited. Porn star wrestler.
Now, this is sponsored by that same adult store that will be hosting the Cuck Chad signing and the Stevie Idol signing. Why would they not sponsor this? This is right up their alley. So the way this works, they play this on Cheap Heat. I saw it on there. I thought it looked pretty fun, so I thought we'd play it on here. See how good you are at this. If you win, if you get 2 of these right, then I will pay you $25.
All right.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to say a name, and you have to correctly tell me whether they are a porn star or a professional wrestler.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. First up, Lucy Lips.
Lucy Lips. I'm going to say that's definitely a porn star.
Nope, she's a lady wrestler. She used to wrestle in Nashville back in 1992.
What?
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Dan the Dad.
Okay. All right. That Dan the Dad, definitely a wrestler.
Nope, midget porn star.
Oh my God. Dan the Dad?
Yeah, midget porn star. All right, our next one, Rod Longstaff.
Rod Longstaff. Now that is a porno name if I ever heard one. He sounds like a real cocksmith. I'm going to say porn star.
Nope, he was the first ever New South champion.
You're kidding.
He won that in Hartselle. Yep. All right. Next up will be Jeremy Flint.
Jeremy Flint. Now that's got to be a porn star. Didn't he come under some charges here recently, Jeremy Flint?
No,
The
he's
Hedgehog.
he's
The
a
Hedgehog,
wrestler. No,
Jeremy
you're thinking
Flint.
of Ron. You're thinking of Ron Jeremy.
Okay.
Yep, he's a wrestler. Well, he used to be. He retired, but you know how that goes. He probably will be back in a couple weeks.
Do you think he's living happily ever after?
Well, he's living. You know, I mean, how happy can you be if you ain't wrestling? Honestly, I mean, what else is there to life?
That's true.
All right, we got a couple more here. If you want to win some money, you better be on top of it.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I thought I pay a lot of attention to porn and what's going on, and I feel like I should be doing better.
I mean, I really thought I was just going to have to hand you over some money because, yeah, like I said, you watch. I mean, I wasn't going to call you out, but you watch your fair share of porn even there at the halfway house. So
sometimes I watch it with friends.
Well, you know, they got to give you a hand sometimes. So his one right here should be a slam dunk. I think you should get this one. Rocky Balboner.
Rocky Balboner. Now that's definitely a porno name. He's a porn star.
No, sir. Professional wrestler.
What?
He was trained by Mike Jackson and Will Owens over there.
Oh my God.
Over there around was that Somerville?
I'm doing horrible at this.
All right, this is your last chance. You got to tell me whether this is a porn star or a wrestler. You can go home with $25 in your pocket.
All right.
Steve Pleasing.
Steve Pleasing. I'm going to reach out on a limb and say Pleasing sounds like a pornographic name. That he's got to be a porn star.
He's a gay porn star. You're right. I owe you $25.
I knew I was going to get one of them. I was going to get one of them.
He is the premier porn star of the homosexual genre. Been around for years. There was a big scare here a few years ago. They thought he had the AIDS. We nearly lost him, but he pulled through and
kicked out.
He kicked out. So I'm gonna write you a check for $25, and I'll put that in the mail. Just be watching for that.
Thank you very much.
I won't have you tell the address to the halfway house here. I'll get that off the air, if you will.
And make sure you put attention, Delbert Jenkins, because Randy likes to check everybody's mail.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry about that.
What a piece of garbage, checking people's mail and stealing their checks out of there. Who in the world would do that? All right, so before we go, we're about to sign off here for episode number 14 of the Whitey Jenkins Show. But I think before we go, one more time here, you need to send a message to Dustin Starr.
Dustin Starr. Well, you know we're coming. You know we told you we're going to expose people. So what'd you do? You picked up your fancy phone. I bet your phone's even got a wig. You picked up your fancy phone. You called down. You got my cousin Whitey banned from the EPW. You got me fired from the Forever 21. But here's what we're going to do, Dustin Starr, if that even is your real name. What we're going to do, we're going to call up our friends. We got friends too. We're going to call up Uncle Howdy and we're going to expose you. Maybe on Fox's SmackDown, maybe on Monday Night Raw, or maybe in the Courier Journal. But we're going to expose you. You take that to the bank, Dustin Starr, and we're coming to EPW. We don't care what you say. You don't want to book us? Coming anyway.
Damn right. You remember one thing, Dustin Starr. Real men don't wear wigs, boy.